Hi guys. Hello. We are live and in charge for our event. Cruz, what is it? Cruz, cancel culture, Cuomo, and Cruz. So I am waiting for Miss Tiffany. Here she is. Do I have to let her in? Let's see what happens here. Okay. Approve. Add her. Guys, I gotta get my ceiling. Got a years ago, and I have to
Hey,
change them. Recipe.
every time I go live, my headset doesn't work. So
Yeah, well, you know mine. And look, I'm trying to get away from my ceiling that had a leak a long time ago, and we just didn't get it fixed yet. You see my ceiling?
I can't see now. Not no. Well, now when you move the camera, it depends on right. Okay. um, yeah.
Well, at least they hadn't had that.
Now that you pointed it out, I can see it. So
Yeah, I
okay.
know.
Yeah.
It's in all my videos. Let's see. I'm gonna go this way. Okay.
And now I'm only gonna be able to look at the ceiling.
You're gonna be
So
distracted.
yep.
Can you see? Can you see? Can you see me now?
Hey,
Okay.
Richard. I'm not late. I didn't start late. I was here on time.
Richard, she was late. She was late.
I am not late. Oh
So,
man.
Tiff,
Yep.
Cruz, cancel culture, Cuomo. What are we talking about?
I think we should start with Cruz first. But first, wi-
Yeah,
right.
challenge.
I was gonna say first. I don't know how many people know our page, but we're gonna put a few questions up in the chat. So I put the link up to our Polychicks page. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button or the face or our picture right under our video.
Mhm.
So I put it up. We're gonna ask 3 questions, and well, you'll type it in, Cindy.
Yeah, I'm looking now. I'm looking now.
You should know the questions. What are the
I know
questions?
the question. The first question. We ain't gonna give the questions yet, though.
Okay. So just pull
We're
up our
not
page.
giving the questions yet.
Okay, so
And I
pull up
don't.
our
Are
page.
we typing? We typing it in, or are we just giving the
We can
question?
say it, but I put the Polychicks page in the chat, so you should be able to see it. Like if you can't find it, it's right there. Click on the link.
Yeah, that's why I was just going to now. I was going to the page to make sure I get so I can know the answer is correct. Okay.
Ah,
So we're not gonna do the quiz yet. We're not gonna do the challenge yet. We'll do a little chat and then we'll go back to the challenge. It's 105. Richard, please remind her. We said we're only gonna do 30 minutes today. So
30
let's see how that
minutos. 30. Solo 30.
solo 30 minutos. Voy a
Sí.
practicar español. Solo 30 minutos.
Sí.
Okay.
Now,
Which
who
one
are
we
you
said we
looking
were
at?
doing
You
first?
always say I'm distracted. I'm not looking at the door. Today, I'm looking at the camera, right? I'm looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Am I looking at the camera, y'all? I'm looking at the camera. Okay. But so I think the reason I think we should start with Cruz is because I feel like it's kind of like a simple like topic with what's
Mhm.
going on with him. It's not as heavy as the other two. With Cruz, I mean, he's the senator of Texas, one of the senators of Texas. He decided during the middle of a freezing storm to board a plane.
No,
He
no,
was
no. A
actually
power outage. Power outage.
okay, during the middle of a power outage that was based on or from a storm, a freezing storm. He decided he wanted to get on a plane and leave, which,
Mhm.
let me be honest, if I was in a freezing storm with a power outage, we actually, when we had our power out in September of 2018, I want to say, we left.
Mhm.
We couldn't deal with it. So I understand the reason behind him wanting to get on a plane to go to Mexico where there's power, water, beach, and all that sunshine. I understand that. But the question is,
Mhm.
what is it that how are you, what's the word for it? How are you accountable to the people that you are supposed to represent? That's the big question. And when I look at
Right.
the oath that the senators take, it's not an oath really to the people. It's an oath to uphold the Constitution, to, do their their duties, blah, 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 blah. So a lot of people did get on him because he decided to leave and go to
Yeah.
Mexico. You know, that place that people say is, you know, taking in all of these people, which, I mean,
The
that's a whole
illegals,
other
the
topic.
illegals.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
whole other topic because I'm like, huh. But yeah, like I said, in my opinion, as a private citizen, I would have wanted to leave Texas as cold as it was back then, and
Right.
without power, I would have wanted to go to Mexico, and if I could stay at the Ritz-Carlton, sure, cool. But
Right.
what's
In
the
September
what
of
what?
2018, I want to say.
Sorry,
We
one
got
second. I got a feedback. So
I'm like, is that me?
that's you. I'm on my okay, because I decided to go in my computer too so that we could have both. But go ahead, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So, but no,
Mm.
I mean, it's just a matter of how, whether or not he's accountable to the people that he represents. And was it a little insensitive in nature to be able to get on a plane? I mean, I think it's selfish, but is it wrong? I don't know. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Yes, it is. If you, it's the same as saying something like draft dodger. When you find out
Mhm.
the president was a draft dodger, like we can be enlisted and deployed, but when you get enlisted and deployed, you can draft dodge. So it's that same idea. They come for you when you draft dodge. And so you're in the trenches with Texas. You're supposed to be in the trenches. And is it right for you to now, with all the power outages? I know you're like, Tiffany's like this, but
I
I
don't
would
feel
feel
peace
bad.
out.
I would want to do it. I would want to do it. Everybody would want to do it. But
Yeah.
would you actually do it? Like, would you actually abandon your constituents? Remember, these are his constituents. These are the
Mm-hmm.
people that voted for you. These are not your friends. It's not a matter of poor versus rich at that point, white versus black. It's a matter of, yeah, it's like Sherry just said, servants. You are there to serve. So okay, look at how stupid he looked once AOC came in, right? You look like an idiot because now Alexandria Ocasio or Cortez came there and did the fundraiser. She
Mm-hmm.
don't even live there. So
Yeah.
look how bad you look. You're supposed to at least try to figure out how to get resources to go around to people's houses, deliver food. You're supposed to do those things. You're not supposed to be in Cancun. Can you
Well,
imagine?
Richard just said, I think it showed a lack of leadership, concern, and empathy for the people that put him in office. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's a lack. It's inconsiderate. It's inconsiderate to get on a plane. I feel like that's the human element of it, because the first thought is, I want to get out of here. I want to get away
Yeah.
from this power outage. I want to get out of, you know, this cold city and go somewhere warm. And he has the privilege
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the funds to do that. Whether or not he should have stayed, like you were saying, yeah, if he's a true leader, what do you say? I'm gonna sit with my people, right? I'm gonna stay with my people. I'm gonna
Just
be there.
imagine the inhumanity of that. Just imagine, okay, even if you take it down to the base level of two neighbors, like we're all neighbors and friends. You don't have the means to go. My neighbor across the street don't have the means to go. Would I just up and leave? Consciously, I just can't see me doing it, even though I might have the means to do it. I might have the desire to do it. I know Tiffany would go, but
I left my
I just
neighbors and
couldn't
went
see
to
me.
Seattle, but I'm not.
I
I'm
couldn't
not
see me
there.
doing it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
couldn't
not
see me doing it.
there. What do you call it? I'm not their senator. So, but I did leave in the middle of a blackout and said I'm going to Seattle across the country, and
No,
that's what we did.
blackout is different than a power outage in the freezing cold when you could actually literally be reading about them dead.
Right.
Um,
It's the same. The
so
power is out. They
yeah,
lost the
but
power.
I'm saying, like, let's say you had a blackout in the summertime. Okay,
It
because
was
we've had the blackout in the summertime. It's hot, your food is whatever, and it's like, oh man. Versus, I could literally be, if I have that kind of money to
mm-hmm.
go to Cancun, then I also have that kind of money to maybe find some resources for them. Help
Yeah.
us with the blankets, with the that. At
Yeah.
least show that concern. You know, if I have that kind of money,
Well, one
or maybe invite them. Say like, let's
with
all
the
go.
blackouts, you can get heat stroke down here with blackouts. But
Mhm.
at the same time, like you said, you can help. But I would have been helping. I would have done my humanitarian work on the beach. I would have been setting up resources and doing all of that stuff from the comfort of my hotel. And that's just me. Like I said, I'm a
Yeah,
selfish person, and I
yeah,
know that's me. So I know
yeah. But then,
I know. But that's me. I would have still been helping, but I would have been thinking about my comfort and safety as well, because that's human nature. I mean, it's just, that's who I am as a human. I'm self.
Sherry said, "Bad girl."
Yeah, I said,
Sherry said the thing is that we say we're a Christian country. In God we trust. We Christian values, but we really don't have that when it comes to like people in need. Like people in need requires sacrifice. It's not going to be something, people, it's not going to be something easy. It definitely is not going to be easy. It's not going to be good. If you don't give if you're not willing to give your life or your service for something, like really, what is the value that we have for life? And how much do we say we believe in God? And what would God say? What would Jesus do? Would Jesus get on a plane? And people are going to say, I'm not Jesus. They're going to say, well, I'm not Jesus. I know it's idealistic, but not realistic for those leaders. That's what Shari said. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much what we,
I was gonna say the comment before that. He's looking like he's thinking about me. Well, I don't know. Wait, I don't know if that's thinking about me or thinking of what I said. I mean, like I said, we all know the selfish nature of human beings, and like you said, yeah, leaders. I don't know if I was a leader. Like I said, I could still help you from the comfort of wherever I am. I could still help and send resources and mobilize. And now I got power, so I can keep my laptop running. So
I would vote him. I think he should be voted right out after that. And on top of that, he blamed his daughter. He said, "Oh, my daughter wanted to go. My neighbors wanted to go. My cat wanted to go.
My wife,
yeah,
not me. They
right.
forced me."
Now, yeah, they made me do it.
I don't like the dishonesty, because, like I said, I would have related more if he said, yeah, I wanted to get out of this, the blackout. I wanted to get out of the power outage and go somewhere warm so I can recoup. But to say, oh, I was escorting my wife and daughters as if they've never taken a plane before, or as if they've never done anything like that before, then it kind of makes you, Richard said, vote him out. Yes, vote him out. But
yeah, I would vote him out. I would vote him out. You don't have a leadership that was gonna jump up okay. The guy that we don't talk about anymore that used to run the country got his vaccine secretly and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
That's some BS right there. I'm sorry. You got the vaccine for something you convinced everybody was a hoax.
Yeah.
That's craziness to me. That's like, really? We doing that as leaders now. Imagine if, when the pandemic was raging, our governors, whoever they were, said, I heard that the numbers are low in Mexico, so I'm going to Mexico. And then you just leave everybody. Like things have to be, people have to be, resources have to be gathered up. We need you here. We don't need you in Mexico. And then you know what? Karma. You get on that plane and possibly.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I'm not going to wish that on him, but.
No, I don't wish it on you, but it would be karma.
I'm just saying, with, like I said, the human nature part of it, I understand that part. The covering up and saying, oh, my daughter made me do it, my cousin, my aunt, my wife, I didn't even know I was going to come and go. I was just like, I wasn't going to stay on the beach. All of that lying, I don't like that. But like the part of it where you want to get out of the situation you're in, that I understand. So yeah. We and Ted Cruz, we all know he has a punchable face. Nobody likes him at all. Like nobody.
That's a strange being right there. That's a strange being.
He really is. But obviously people do like him because they voted him in as the senator. But and he received some votes for the primary as president. So I can't say no one likes him.
So don't forget, guys, in a few minutes we're gonna be doing. Don't forget, guys, in a few minutes we're gonna do the contest. So don't forget.
Why don't we do it now? Why don't we do it now before we start talking about Cuomo? Okay,
I'm gonna type in as Cindy. While you continue to yell, I'm gonna look strange.
So yeah, if you look up further in the chat, or if you don't know about our Polychicks pages, right there in the chat, it gives you the link straight to our Polychicks page, and we're going to ask you 3 questions that we want the answer to. Okay.
Okay. So the first question, I just put it in the chat. I put it in as Cindy, guys, because I am Cindy also.
So
So
how
the
many subs do we have? And what's the next question?
she really, I'm the typing person today.
Well, mine, because my, I'm on my phone, so if I type on my phone, y'all gonna see
Wait,
all my goodies because I'm like sitting in the chair and I don't want to move it. Like I'm already in my night clothes, so.
but now my face is gonna be going in the screen. Okay, wait, let me get my laptop.
Okay, let me see.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait,
but
no, I got it.
one thing. So, or
How
we could
many
just say,
subs do we
how many
have?
subscribers do we have? How many videos do we have posted? And then the last question
What was the name
is
of our very first video? Not the intro video, the very first video.
very first video. Yep. So you guys can do a scavenger hunt and find that and let us know. Type it in the chat when you find it. How many subs? How many let's see, how many videos do we have? And the name of our first video.
Okay, so Tiff, you do know the answer to these questions, right?
See, claro.
Samuel Lee Lush. Samuel Lee Lush said, long time, long time.
Hey, I'm in
Hey.
vacation mode.
So wait, Tiff, you know the answer to all the questions?
See, claro.
Okay. So what are they doing? Tell them how do they win? And
I told them you weren't paying attention, Cindy. See?
no.
Oh my gosh. Just type it in the chat. type it in the chat,
Yeah.
and we will
No,
select.
if they win, if we announce the winner, what do they do?
Once we announce the winner, you guys will just message us with your preference on what we'll let you know what we're giving away, and you message us on the preference of what it is. Samuel said he was talking to you, Cindy. Samuel Lee Lush. He was talking to you, and Sharon said, "Hi, brother," but
Hi,
I guess
sorry. Clearly, I don't listen. Hi, Sam.
not at all. Sammy from Sea Park. He's from Sea Park.
No, no, it's so funny because I was typing at the same time, so I was doing a lot of things, thinking and chewing gum. How you doing? How you doing? Okay, you gotta go win the contest, Samuel. Go win, go win.
So
Sammy.
our Polychicks page, our Polychicks YouTube page is
Wow,
open.
Coney Island days. Those were the good old days, man. Those were good old days. Wow. So, do we want to go to the next topic while we waiting for this? We'll tell you. What are we telling them how long?
I wanted to clarify that we're talking about on the YouTube page, not on the Facebook page. So how many subscribers do we have on the YouTube page? The link is at the top of the chat. How many videos do we have? And what's the name of our first video? You type it in the chat and let us know. But yeah, the next topic was about Cuomo. And we actually did that in reverse because I feel like Cuomo is such a much more heavy topic. Cuomo, one, I'll just say this. We feel, well, I'll say this. I feel that sexual harassment is completely different than sexual abuse and rape. Those two things are in two separate categories. One is kind of more, it's more allegations and implications versus actually doing something to someone's body against their will. So let's clarify that at the beginning. There's 3 women that accused Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, of sexual harassment. They said he stated certain things or he made them feel uncomfortable. And allegations and implications, unless it's a proven thing, I don't think that you should lose your livelihood. And this is whether it's Trump, and like I said, it's a difference. It's levels to this because there's levels of the sexual harassment and the nature of it. If it's an accusation, because that means that I can accuse someone of something that may or may not have happened. So allegations leading to the loss of livelihood, I'm not 100% on board with that. I think it depends on the levels and
on the extent, the extent to which he did something.
Yes.
Because I think in the workplace, I kind of want to say most women can identify with that on some level, being accosted or having things said to them in a sexual way. Sometimes you want it, you're flirting, and then other times it's creepy, like when the person is not your type, older, hey. And you know, when I was listening to what they said he did, and I was thinking about the time that I had worked for, not worked, yeah, I did work with someone, and the person made like tried to kiss me. We got in a closed setting, yeah, and I'll tell you off camera who it was because we worked with him.
Woo! I can't wait.
And you know what? It was so creepy. It was unwarranted. It was creepy and all that. But we still remain friends to this day. And it was just a little, I don't know, sometimes you could be in a quiet situation where you're working in an office and you can misread cues. You could think the person likes you, or you could just be straight up horny. And you know, he's older and all that stuff. So, um, should this person have been fired?
I'm sorry, Richard. We wanted 3 answers: the number of videos, the first video, not the intro video, the name of the first video, and the number of subscribers. So you're 1 out of 2 so far. 1 out of 2. Go back, do it again. Go ahead, Cindy.
Yeah, I'm just answering him. I was typing an answer to him. That's why I said the first official video. Yeah, so to this day we're still friends. Do you cancel the person? Do you like say, you know, does he deserve to be fired? You know, all that stuff from really, but apparently this is a pattern. They're trying to show a pattern of behavior. There's more than one woman. There's like 3 women now, probably, maybe there's even more. Do we really want to say he should resign? And if he should resign, what does grab him by the P? The grab him by the P president, should he have ever been elected, and should he have been impeached after that video came out? And we have a judge who was allegedly raped someone. Should he be on the Supreme Court? You know what I mean?
Right, and that's why I say allegations and implications. I don't know if it should lead to a loss of livelihood, because if it's not something that's proven where you actually absolutely did this, or there's a strong case against you to where we can see clear evidence, then I don't believe in any case. Like I said, with Kavanaugh, with Trump, with Cuomo, and then there's this new guy, Madison Cawthorn, who a first-year representative out of, I feel like it's South Dakota, but it's a new Republican House of Representative, a representative that's being accused of it. And to me, I don't want to put sexual assault survivurs on I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I feel like at some point, if you say no, an assertive no, and that person continues, then that's where you drew the line. It's a level of, okay, I drew the line, I said no, I made myself clear, my intent clear of what I do and do not like. And he continues, and there's a difference. That's why I say it's a difference, because men are persistent by nature. They're persistent. I'll tell you, I wouldn't have been with a few people if they weren't persistent and they didn't ask more than once to go out with me or to hang with me. So I feel like there's a level of that. And it's like, if I don't like you saying something to me, I'm going to say, hey, I don't know if that's I don't think that's appropriate. And he should know, of course, that certain things, but we work with people constantly. We see them all the time. And those are the people that we're connected to the most. I mean, we know each other from work and we've been friends forever. So that's where you develop a lot of relationships. So the question is, what's the level of his inappropriate behavior? What's the level of it, and what was done to stop that behavior, and did he continue? That I don't know.
And because we are politics, we see the political angle in everything. So in this case, I believe that they're going after him because they don't like him. He's bullied. They don't like the way he handled things. It's a witch hunt, kind of, but I don't want to say witch hunt in the sense that he didn't do anything, because he may have. So it's not in that way. When I say witch hunt, I mean everybody's going to start coming out of the woodwork and saying, yeah, he touched me. Yeah, he looked at me. Yeah, he that. Because they don't like him. They don't like the way he handled the pandemic with the nursing homes. So people are still angry about that. and the fact that he got an Emmy for his lives and doing his press conferences, and he wrote a book prematurely. I thought the book was premature on how to do leadership at this time. I thought that's something you do after everything's over. We're still in it. It was
Yeah.
just strange to come out with a book. And then it was all these news conferences and everybody praising him. And it was like this man, was this like Cuomo crushes or whatever was going around. So it's like I always say, today you're the hero, tomorrow you're the GOAT. Now,
Yeah.
I was talking with my sister about it, and I was like, would it be right for me to, for the person that did it to me, tried to kiss me at work, would it be right for me to wait for him to go for mayor or something to come out? Like, would I
Well,
come out
that seems
after
to
him?
be the going time frame, or like you wait years and years later till something is happening, and then you're like, hey, 20 years ago he did this to me and I felt
Yeah,
uncomfortable. But why not say it then? Like if you felt uncomfortable, or the cues are also there, like you said in the beginning. You must have done something for him to either stop doing what he was doing or not do it ever again. You must have
right,
said something or done something. So
right. Also that, and also, if I wait all those years, what is it? What's my plight? Why did I wait? Did I wait because I wanted to hold it because I know he's going to go further? Or did I wait because I was so traumatized, but now I'm angry because I see him in the public eye? What is the reason I waited? And I'm not even judging because I'm a person that never told either. I never said anything. I never told anybody about it. I just went on with my life. And I just wonder if I saw him in public running for governor or mayor, would I really say something? And if I'm and also this is what I was going to think about with the political aspect of things. Look at how they did the Biden stories. They buried them, right? Before he started really, when he was, I don't know if he was in the primaries or no, recently they came out with the woman that said he raped her. Or he
I didn't know that they buried them, because I was hearing it before he was they were
Yeah,
talking
but
about
they didn't go after. It
it.
wasn't like a whole witch hunt. It wasn't mentioned. It wasn't a witch hunt. It was just like she did get her press time, but then they were like, the story doesn't seem this, and it seems like that. And then you didn't see, like, everywhere you turn on the TV now, Cuomo's face is all over the pages. They didn't do
Mhm.
that with Biden. I think it's because they didn't want him to lose the election. That's what I believe.
Okay.
Because I believe that's what I believe. My little petty little analysis of it is they're gonna do that because they don't want. If we focus too much on this story, he's not gonna win.
Yeah.
Like people may get turned off. I don't know how they think that because grab him by the P president, our post president grabbing him by the P didn't actually got you saw they actually have merchandise made with that on it.
No, I didn't see that, but I don't
Yeah, if
really
you
talk
look at
about.
his rallies,
So
if you
let's
look
talk
at his
about
rallies,
Cuomo. Yeah, let's talk about Cuomo, because we're talking. I can't stand.
I
He
know
he was.
you don't talk about him, but when I'm saying that, I'm saying in the way that it's politically played. If they
Mhm.
like you, it's not a big deal. But if they don't like you, you're going down. So
Yeah,
right now they're
I think
taking away his power. Right now
I was
he's
gonna say,
losing
I
power.
think they made a big deal with Trump as well when he had those accusers. He had like 19, or I think it was 19 accusers. They made a big deal with Kavanaugh. It's just like I said, with the sexual harassment part of it, it's a lot of allegation and implication. It's not um like action that can be proven. And I think that's
Right,
where it gets kind
right.
of dicey. So it's like, well, okay, so now he can't ever work. We're going to strip him of his powers because someone said something that may or may
Yeah.
not be true. And
Flirtatious.
that's
Because
where I have a problem.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They have the picture, that picture that they put up of him with him hugging the woman, or
Mm-hmm.
like he had a waist or
Touching her
something. They were
face.
at a wedding.
Yeah.
And I was like, do we consider culture? Because Italians tend to be a little bit like that. The person that did it to me was Italian. Um, kind of grabby.
I know who you're talking about
You know what I'm talking about? Kind of grabby. And
now.
so it makes you wonder, do we consider culture when we think of this?
Hmm.
Um,
Well,
it's
also
culture.
it's culture. It's also the time of when he's what, 60 something. It's also what they're used to, and they have to relearn. I feel the new what do you call it? The new wave of thinking,
The
a new
new
way.
way to do something.
Yeah, and I mean, a picture captures a moment in time as well. And I'm not saying he did or did not do it. I don't know. And it's like I said, it's allegations, implications, and we just don't know. But and that's what I say. And I don't want to make it seem like rape and sexual abuse survivors, when they take so long, it's because they're dealing with their internal trauma. They're dealing with, should I come out and say it? What happens if I do? Because they're going to be attacked. Those
Right.
the ones that have the legitimate reasoning, they feel a certain way about it, and they haven't grappled with it. But when it's a simple, hey, we at work, maybe this is not a good conversation for us to be having. It's a quick conversation, and I know the power structure and all of that other stuff. But if you're going to do it now, it just seems a little, I don't know. It just seems
Right. And I also wonder if it was her type, would it be something wrong with it?
Yeah,
If the
because
person is fine.
if
Yeah.
Idris Elba was in the office and he kept talking to me and saying and winking, I would not have a problem with it. I'm sorry to say, and a lot of women.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I mean by the political nature of it. And believe me, guys, I have been sexually harassed, but I
And
wonder.
I've been a sexual harasser, apparently. Remember?
Oh yeah. Tiffany caught a case, guys. Tiffany caught a case.
Yes.
We didn't tell Richard. He might have. Did he? What happened with Richard?
Oh, is he still on? Okay. Well, I'll message him. But yes, so if you went on our first video, we were looking.
He got them all. He got them all.
Yep, we were looking for our first video, the number of subscribers that we have, and the number of videos that we have, and he apparently got them all. So shout out to Richard. I'll reach out to him. Yeah, I'll reach out to him. But yeah, it to me, it was a situation, and this happened with the Monica Lewinsky thing, where it's like you're telling someone that something happened, but you're not reporting that it happened. And that's what happened with me. The person told someone else what happened between he and I, and that person reported the harassment, even though the person wasn't.
Which can happen.
Yeah.
And also, it was also that kind of allegation is used as a tool.
Yeah.
It's used as a punishment tool. I'm gonna punish you. I'm gonna say you raped me, or I'm gonna say you harassed me, or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
with Cuomo, I don't want to go to cancel culture before we say I'm more upset with him about the deaths and the cover-ups in those nursing homes than any of the other things. Because if you're covering up in the middle of a pandemic, I don't know how much he knew and when he knew it and what he did, but that's more worrisome when it comes to people's lives. And it's just like, if you can do that, what else are you hiding? What else did you not do or reveal? So that's just my two cents on that.
The nursing home thing, he kept trying to, from the very beginning, if you watch his lives early on, he kept trying to like muddle the numbers or answer the question like, yeah, we're gonna tell you, and the news people, I mean, they asked him like every week, they kept asking the nursing homes, the nursing homes, the nursing homes, the nursing homes. And he kept saying, yeah, this, yeah, that. And so you can't really get around that. You can't really skirt that one.
Yeah. So, okay, on to our last and most prevalent topic right now. I mean, you're hearing somebody getting canceled every day, every which way. It's a cancel on something. And I mean, cancel, I think the latest one, which was misinterpreted as cancel culture, which is, it's kind of redirected from something else that happened. It seems like with the Dr. Seuss thing, let's say that with the Dr. Seuss, the Seuss Enterprises, the people that own his estate, they actually took a look at the books and decided to remove the 6 books out from those. They are the ones that decided that. So it wasn't like someone said, get those books off the shelf. they decided themselves that they wanted to pull those books away. And
Right.
one of the things that it was a poem that I was reading on this next door site that we have in our neighborhood, and a person said with Dr. Seuss, what he always did was try to make people feel comfortable, included, and not have hurt feelings. Like he always changed the mind of, like, if you look at the Grinch, first he was mean-hearted, and then he changed his mind and he became whatever. And then you look at some of the other characters, they changed their mind. So for him
Right.
to, or his enterprise or his estate to change their mind and say these images are not acceptable at this time, we want to pull them, there shouldn't be an issue around that, because that's their decision.
You know,
And
I was having this conversation today with someone about it, and I was like, art has always been, I mean, I taught social studies, so we would go take the kids to the museum and we would show them art, but we would not only just be looking at art, but we would be looking at it through the lens of what it told us about the time period in which it was happening.
yep.
The same thing with literature. The same thing with everything. When you look at cartoons, when you look at newspapers, when you look at books, when you look at pictures, everything tells you about the time and period in which it was happening. How do you punish Dr. Seuss or the writers of Dr. Seuss for representing what America represented? It's what America was at that time. It was what was represented. The same with blackface. The same with the Aunt Jemima syrup. The same with the people that was doing those shows, those vaudeville kind of shows, when they would do things, make the woman all big. The same with those old cartoons where the woman was so fat and dark and with the headscarf on and talking ignorant. It's the same as if 100 years from now, when you look at our newspapers, all you're gonna see are pictures of people going like this, not even looking at each other, looking down at their phones, not acknowledging each other. It's gonna tell you about the time period when it was happening. So
Right.
Dr. Seuss, this whole I'm gonna cancel you because you had this racist thing. Well, America is a racist country. Until we get that in our head, we're going to be in denial and we're going to continue to punish individuals. It was just like when Paula Dean came out as saying the N-word.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they literally took her contracts, stopped her book, whatever I mean, really, really ran this woman down. And I wasn't for it. I
But
was
see,
like, nope.
I think there's a difference. Well, one, there's a difference with someone saying, I don't want to keep producing this specific work that I put out, versus pulling it. So in Dr. Seuss's case, no one made him take those books down, or not him,
Right.
but his estate take them down. They decided on their own that this is not what they wanted to produce.
Right.
And when you look at certain things as the time of production, like you said, the time going with the wind, when you look at Going with the Wind, when you look at baby, it's cold outside, it's appropriate and fine for that time and period.
Yeah.
Now, if we made a song similar to that or had a movie like that and it's based on reality of today, then it wouldn't fly. But if you look at the time, someone said, when you erase history, sometimes when you erase history, what happens is you tend to repeat it. So we know we don't want to go back to those days. But we want to have a semblance of what was, and what happened back then, so we can have a reference point of where we don't want to go back to. One other thing what I have wanted to say is there's a difference between consequence and cancellation. There's a difference between accountability, like you said, with Paula Dean. I feel like if you're saying a slur, if you're saying something that you should not be saying and it's not socially acceptable, then there should be some type of consequence for that. Whether or not she should have everything canceled, I don't know, but it should be a consequence, I think.
Well, it wasn't a current, I don't remember it being something she did currently. They went back into how she used to talk, and she literally said, that's the time period I grew up in.
Yeah.
That is what I grew up in. She said, that's what I knew. Do I feel that way now? No. But did I use those words then? Yes. Am I sorry? Yes. Can I take it back? No.
Think
so what do we want after that?
Right.
Huh?
Think about how many things we've said or done in our past where we're like, yeah, I don't feel like that anyway. I might look back at this video next week and be like, yeah, I changed my mind about that. People do change
I
their
got
mind
one for
in their
you.
heart.
I got one for you.
What?
Suppose a cleaning lady who we know of from back in the day, or our old supervisor, was to say what kind of workers we were. back in the day.
Well, I would say they would say we were hard workers, but we played around a lot. I think
We were
everybody knows we were hard
goofball.
workers.
We
Yeah,
goofed off a lot.
but we worked
If they,
hard.
we
I
worked
we
hard.
worked
We,
hard.
we fooled around and we played a lot of games. We took long lunches. We
We weren't the studious employees that we could have been, but we worked hard. We
so
did our
can you
work.
imagine? Can you imagine you go for some politician job and they say, well, back as she played and she threw water, she wasted government resources. She stole pens. We found pens in her bag. You know, we would be screwed.
Yeah,
We would
yeah,
be screwed. And I used to say that to you because, you know, you used to dress a little, you know,
yeah.
provocatively. I used to say, too, you know, people are going to remember you for this thing.
Right, but and that's why I say it's a moment in time. It's where I was in my moment in time. That's
Right.
where I was. And but
Should
you
you
know,
be punished for that now, though? Should you be punished for that now?
I don't think so. But if there were ramifications, I would explain why I felt that way. Just like you said with Paula Dean, this is what I was doing then. What have I grown as a person, or I'm different in certain ways? Yeah, we all do change and grow as a person. But as far as the cancellation culture, I feel that when you cancel something, let's say it's completely gone, like, okay, with the Aunt Mama syrup, she hasn't been canceled. What they did was they I think they changed the name, and the first step that they did, I don't know if you remember, they took her from having that bonnet on. Remember, she used to have the red and white bonnet, and then they gave her the pearls, and they gave her the nice hairdo, and I was like, okay, look at Aunt Mama, she looking good.
Yeah.
But now they're saying the terminology Aunt Jemima stands for, it's like a
You
mammy.
You said your mama.
Jemima. You know, I have a problem with Nick. Jemima. Aunt Jemima. Whatever. Aunt J. Her name is not that name anymore. So, but you know,
every time. Every time.
Shut up. But it's the connotation behind it. So a lot of people had a problem with the Redskins changing their name, and you can't say what hurts a specific group of people, and maybe that group of people don't have a problem with it, but it's the connotation behind the name. And if they had the Washington Niglets, I probably wouldn't like that name. Like, even if it was acceptable back then, the Washington Niglets would be like, and that's how it is with the Redskins. So if you're upset because people are making changes to culturally be, what's the word for it? I don't even know the word for it, but to be, I don't want to say politically correct, because it's a difference between
culturally appropriate,
maybe appropriate, because I think it's a difference between being hurtful and saying stuff that people just don't agree with. Those are two different things.
Malicious, you mean?
Right. Because if I had a name where it's like, you just don't like my name, like, that's an ugly name, okay, well, deal with it. But if I have a name that's saying it's something that's a slur or a derogatory term, then that's something that should be addressed and changed. There's the difference.
Like we had started saying, I'm not going out on Black Friday. We didn't like the term Black Friday, so I thought they're going to change it, but like arguing against those terms, okay, I can understand that. But when I say like canceling someone, Dr. Seuss, that whole thing, them taking ownership, I think the Dixie Chicks or some other people had changed their names of things and said, okay, I'm going to change my names. That's like, you know better, you do better. You grow with the times, you change with the times. And like I said before, art and literature and music all represent the time period that it's happening in. And just by the fact that they were so popular, it totally means people were obtuse, didn't even realize that this was insensitive in some way, because that's America. That's like America 101. But the word cancel, when you were talking, I was thinking about the word cancel. I said, it seems like, I have no data. If you guys have data, it'd be great. It seems like it's woman heavy. It seems like a lot of the people that were canceled, if you look at Monique, if you look at Paula Dean, I think Whoopi Goldberg had mentioned this woman that had a sexual relationship with an intern or something, and they totally canceled. Not to say it's no men, but I'm wondering if there's a gender thing with it also. That is it. more punishment for women that do stuff. Because I mean, Paula Dean could not recover at all. It was nothing she could
Yeah, but
say.
I mean, if you look at certain things like it, I'm trying to think of the women that have come back out. Like you said, I would have to look that up. But I don't think it's so. Even though with Neera Tanden, she was another one. She did mean tweets, and now she's out of a possible
Can't do anything.
nomination for a
Nope.
job. So that's a big part of cancel culture because of what I said and did. Now it's
Yeah.
not acceptable when it was acceptable for.
I think we tend to be hard on women, but I don't have any data to back it up. Like Judge Kavanaugh getting confirmed after having legitimately having testimony and whatever, people coming out saying he did this, he raped me. But her having ties to something, another country or some kind, or making tweets or whatever, because they were saying it was also a conflict of interest. Those things, her still being able to not being confirmed, but Mitch McConnell's wife having ties to China and working with, like, he can, it's okay for him. He can still lead a committee and be all that. She can't chair a department because she made some tweets back in the day that came up to bite her. But it wasn't just a tweet from what I was hearing. It was also that she had conflict of interest, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't have enough data to know that it's more women that get canceled versus men. But I mean, it's all across the board. You have so even people are getting canceled for wearing costumes that were not appropriate. Like if you're wearing a costume, if I'm dressing up as Pocahontas, white people can't dress up as Pocahontas anymore. Like when did that happen? Like
Well,
now,
remember the black girl that came in as Belle? Who tried to play not Belle? They made a big stink about who was that they wanted to play,
I don't
and
know.
and a whole bunch of Caucasians came out saying that's not my Belle or whatever
I
that character.
I don't know, but the problem is you cannot cancel someone because they decided to dress up as a specific character. If you dressed up as a specific character in homage of that person, let's say I decide I want to be Pocahontas for Halloween, and I'm like, this is a cool person to be. I think it's cool. That's different than dressing up and doing a kind of I don't know some kind of
What was that? What was that?
you know, what's the word for it? I always lose my words.
Yeah,
But
those like
it,
jigaboo
yeah,
kind of
like
things. Yeah.
doing it where it's offensive.
Bojangles.
Yeah, like where it's like, okay, this is I'm making fun of it versus doing something in homage of. There's a big difference with those two.
Yeah,
So
you know how many black people have come out like Lucy, imitate themselves as being Lucy and homage to, and Lucy is, anybody knows me know Lucy is my all-time favorite person.
well, you can't dress up as her or you might get canceled for being.
Do I have the lips? Do I have the lips?
No, you don't. So you better not dress up as Lucy. But that's the thing. It's like, is it going too far? I feel like in a lot of ways, it's going so far. The pendulum is swinging so far to please. It's like as soon as someone says, I don't like that, then it has to be canceled. There's no correction.
Yeah.
There's no counseling on what could be done to change it or to make it better.
I guess what you're really saying, I guess, is we cancel instead of like show mercy and forgive. But that just goes to what I was saying about we say we're a country of in God we trust. But we're so hypocritical, easy to cancel, easy to jump on people, easy to not give people a chance, easy to ditch when the going gets tough, drop you, throw you under the bus, hypocrites. God don't know nothing about this country. He's like, I don't know what that is over there.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. Because cancel culture, I know like the heavily I don't even like to say, I hate this word, right versus left, far right. I hate that. But it's true. So on the Republican side, they use that term cancel culture because they want to say that, okay, you're knocking people off Twitter, or you're knocking people off Facebook, or you're saying, changing the names of things and taking down flags and Confederates and this and that. That's one thing. But on the other hand, I think there's an extreme going on. Like you said, if you do one thing, if you misspeak in the smallest way, we don't forgive. We don't give you a chance to explain. I mean, like I said, okay, so like Roseanne Barr, that's what I was trying to think of. So Roseanne Barr was canceled. Monique was canceled. These people are being canceled for things they said. Now, Roseanne Barr said Valerie Jarrett looked like a monkey. And you know, we always get accused of looking like a monkey, or they always like refer to black people as monkeys. So she said like something, not Palestinian, whatever she said, something monkey. They took her off her show. She's like basically into obscurity now. And the show is still going. And they changed the name of the
Yeah.
show. The show was hers.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
think
but
that
you
was
know,
too harsh? You think that
I,
was too harsh?
I don't know. I think there should be consequences. I think there should be consequences and opportunities for change, not cancellation. That's what I think. Certain things, like I said, the Redskins name, that's an area for change. That's an opportunity to learn why it's offensive, to create a consequence, and to change. Cancel. I feel like when you cancel something, it just goes away, and there's no opportunity for learning. So my key takeaway would be, let's create consequences and change, but not cancellation. Those are my key points. It's like when you cancel something, there's no, how are we going to learn? Aubrey
Okay,
said,
Aubrey said, yeah.
I hate it too far left and too far right. Most people are in the middle. Most people are
Yeah.
like, okay, this is in the middle. To me, if you cancel everything you don't like or that someone doesn't like, there's going to be a lot of cancellations. But if you accept everything that people feel is acceptable, then there's going to be a lot of issues. So somewhere in the middle, we have to create the necessary change and consequences when it goes too far, and not cancel and get rid of people, because those people, you think when you cancel them that they learned their lesson? No, they're just like, well, I
No.
got canceled for blah blah blah. No one taught me why and how things are going, and why this is offensive, or why I should not have said that. So it's not a learning moment. It's not something that people feel that they've learned when they walked away. Now they're just canceled and they're in obscurity somewhere with the other people.
Which is it's the same, because I mean, just imagine if your kid is in school and you find out they was, I guess, suspended, and they won the honors awards. They got some kind of an honors award and this and that, and you found out they took all of that away because you found out he was a bully, or you found out, like, how far is the punishment? How far? That's the thing that people struggle with in general is, as we used to say as teachers, the punishment should fit the crime.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for
so that's
sure.
the thing we struggle with, like trying to find the proper punishment for things.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, I know we said we were going to keep this to 30 minutes. So Richard, you got the answers right. I know you're not on right now, but we're going to message you. You got the answers right. We have 44 subscribers. If you guys have not subscribed yet, go to our page and click the button. We have 25 videos up. And we have our first video was called Common Sense, when we talked about the census. Now we will have a lot more interesting topics coming up. We have, I don't even want to say it. We have a lot of stuff.
We want to talk COVID next time, right?
Yeah, on our next live, we will be talking about COVID 1 year later.
The immunization and COVID 1 year later.
Yeah, 1 year later. And we have a lot of special guests coming up. We have a lot of interesting topics. But one thing I do want to say that they're trying to cancel, and we got to stick and make sure that they don't cancel, is our voting. We have to make sure we fight against the cancellation of
So go back, guys. As Tiff said, we have our recent videos on marriage, being single, and Women's Day. And why we're celebrating Women's Day. So those are the interesting videos we had up. And as usual, if you have a topic, we are easy and accessible now, guys. When we get to 2 million and 3 million and 4 million,
I'm not easy anymore. No.
We're easily accessible. So to polychicks@gmail.com, or you can just private message us in here and tell us what you think, a topic you'd like to discuss. And definitely, and hopefully in the future, when we get this whole YouTube thing going and get our lives and how we can figure out things, maybe we can have guests come live with us for things too. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Tiff,
right. Like I said, subscribe on YouTube. Always follow us for our lives, our videos. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. Is that it? We done? We out?
Yep.
All right. Bye.